Having recently watched the HBO series from 2019 on the Chernobyl incident, I've been fascinated over the past week with learning about the incident, the area, and the people involved. And this interview that I found and highlighted here had some very fascinating things to say from Alexander Lovchenko, who you will see in the series if you watch it, who is the one who props the metal door open so that two other individuals in the movie can go through. Now, in reality, he says there were three. Those three all died. It looks like in the movie that he dies, but apparently he lives. What they don't tell you about is the process he goes through, and that's why this is there. That's why I've given you this, so you can go read it for yourself about his story, about what he went through. But this is the most interesting part here at the end, the last three questions they asked him. He does not talk about it with people in Russia because there's a stigma attached to it. If people know he's in it, they will treat him different. He was there, they will treat him differently, for better or worse. There is a huge stigma on nuclear power, but down here at the bottom you can see he doesn't share that same stigma about nuclear power. I'm fine about it. Now, he's a nuclear engineer. That's what he studied in college or in school, whatever training they had in the 80s in Russia, as long as the safety is put first. And one of the major reasons why Chernobyl was such a disaster is because they lied about it. And the people who worked there, including Lovchenko, which you can read about in this interview, thought that everything will be okay because they thought the safety protocols would cover it. And like so many other things in that time, not just in Soviet Russia, but in that time generally in the world, there was a lot of ignorance, superstition, and assumption that went on that actually caused problems. So it's interesting that he's been back, stood on the next door reactor, the third reactor, which is right next to the one that blew up, and probably right outside the dome they've put up. He doesn't think there's problems with it. He thinks the problem is that people don't put safety where it belongs. And in the year that we've just had, as people focus on safety, this was interesting food for thought for me, that there doesn't need to be a stigma on nuclear power. There needs to be a greater emphasis on safety. And if there's any lesson we can learn from Chernobyl, that is probably the biggest one, is that many great things can be done. They are best done when they are safe. And it is only when they are safe that people truly prosper and derive the benefits promised by those who sold them to us in the first place. So I'm for nuclear power. It was interesting that he was too. And I thought you should know that.